worst takes from the weekend.
All right, let's get into it. Our best and worst from the weekend. I'm going to start with some of my best, and that is the love and support that we have shown for our Orlando Valkyries. I got the shirt on right here. Our local professional volleyball team with MVP Brittany Abercrombie on the squad. They finished the second season in the history of the Pro Volleyball Federation with a championship. Now, does that have anything to do with the connection to In the Zone? I'll let you be the judge of that. But a serious congratulations is in order to all the players, to head coach Amy Pauley, to Dylan Stanley, who we have dealt with directly on the media relations side. They've been incredible to work with. We've had a chance to go to some games, and it's awesome. And we have a champ. I always say, just give me a champion in our backyard, and we got one.
We got one. I mean, it was a really fun to keep up with throughout the season and to have Amy on. And for me personally, it brought back something. One of the first ever play-by-play opportunities I ever got was doing high school volleyball. And since that point, I had a brief professional IM volleyball career in the fraternity league down at UCF, but I haven't thought a ton about volleyball in the last couple of years. And to have Coach Amy on and to learn a little bit from her and kind of her bring us metaphorically inside the locker room, inside the lines, it was a whole lot of fun to be a part of.
And it's ironic because our starts in broadcasting both began with volleyball. Yeah. My very first job out of broadcasting school was oddly enough doing camera work. I don't think I've done camera work since then. So it just took any job that became available. It was a weekend covering a community college volleyball tournament. And as low rent as that sounds, no offense, it was awesome. I so enjoyed the competition. And now this is a different level, obviously, and being affiliated with them has been an absolute blast. So congratulations. One of my worst, I'm just going to go ahead and take the L on this, even though it hasn't officially come down yet, but the Cavs to the finals prediction that I laid out pretty early on into the postseason, yeah, they're dead. 3-1, they're down to Indy, and now we've got news that Donnie might end up missing Game 5. He has re-aggravated his ankle, an injury that popped up a while ago. He's expected to be a game-time decision per Shams Charania. If he can't play, forget it. I do think that if he plays, they will get Game 5 and push it back to Indy, but the Pacers have played so well on that court and that offense. The Cavs just don't have answers for it. Right now, it looks like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who are these incredible defensive stoppers in the paint, have just been caught flat-footed. And it seems like Rick Carlisle has he's figured out the answer. So while the Cavs will likely get that dead cat bounce in Game 5 if Donovan Mitchell is healthy, they're done. They're not going to win 3 more games in this series.
No, they're not healthy. When push comes to shove, and it's such an unfortunate thing that the worst health, the token of why they were so good all season long was because those core 4 all played in at least 70 games for the first time, I believe, since they were assembled a couple of years ago. And that's been the big difference from Cleveland being a first-round exit to New York 2 years ago when that squad was just put together and those 4 had hardly played with each other in the regular season. Then they hit the postseason, they're quote-unquote healthy, but they didn't have minutes with one another, and it showed on the court, and he got bounced by New York. Then to last season, you just get by the Orlando Magic, who are new to the playoffs, and then you get met by the Boston Celtics, who go on to win the title. They weren't ready then. Cleveland was ready right now on so many levels, and the injury bug, it strikes at the worst time for Cleveland. And at this point, even if Donovan Mitchell is able to play, you know that he's not good to go fully. He's not 100%. You mentioned Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. Those guys still don't look like they are back to anything close to 100%.
Yeah,
and it's showing.
Apparently, Darius Garland is wearing some special shoe fit to his foot.
That's what you want to pull out in game 4 of the second round.
This guy would not be playing if it was in the regular season. I don't know where Evan Mobley would be, but Mobley hasn't quite looked the same. Is that schematic? Is that injury related? Like Tyler said, who knows? But The Pacers look like far and away the better team. They were up 80-39 at halftime last night. That was an absolute ass kicking. I've got a few more here, but I'll kick it over to you. Best or worst? How would you like to start your Monday?
I'll start with my best, and it's just that the Boston Celtics are the best team in the East. Okay, I mean, they showed us over the weekend that, listen, an all-time record missed three-pointers in a single game with 45 in game one. That's how the door was open to beat the New York Knicks. Missing or not making a field goal for 8 straight minutes in the fourth quarter in game two. That's what kept the door open for the Knicks to come back and win. It over the weekend on Saturday in game three, a total butt whooping for Boston. They had the 20-point lead early on. They didn't give it up. You finish with a 22-point victory. You shoot 20 of 40 from beyond the arc. Those are the Boston Celtics. That's the squad that we have known all season long. This is the squad that I expect that we see for the remainder of the season. It's why I said Boston in 5 originally. It's why now I have Boston in 6. And it's why if the Celtics lost, even in a similar way to game 1 and 2, or if they lose tonight and fall down 3-1, I still have Boston in 7. Regardless of what happens tonight, I still think the Celtics come out to win this series.
So I think it was Charles Barkley that said that game 3 was a must win for the Knicks.
Right.
This is the must win. They got to get this one tonight, or Boston has snatched all of the momentum back. And you look at game 1 and game 2 and just say shooting variance. That's it. That's what got them. They could not make threes in those games. And then they came barreling back in a big way and almost overcorrected to the other side, scored 115 points, which is much closer to that season average. It's something that they have not been able to do throughout the postseason so far, partially because of the Magic defense, partially because of the Knicks defense, but a lot of that just comes down to making open shots, and it is that simple. The Celtics weren't doing that, and now they are. Hit me with another one.
X Factor, Peyton Pritchard, 5 of 10 from beyond the arc in game 3, 23 points. I mean, it's what we saw. It's how this Magic team is so deadly. It's why he was a 6th man of the year, or he was the 6th man of the year this season. He has to be involved, and there are some games that he has disappeared. He is huge for this team. You also need the stars performing, and with Tatum and Brown still not shooting 50% from the field, but getting closer, you imagine a game that they do finish from 50% from the field and above 35% from deep, and this Celtics team looks like the best team easily in the Eastern Conference. I'll go to one of my worst. I didn't have a lot of faith in Jimmy Butler when it comes to this Golden State Warriors team, and what was he going to look like without Steph Curry? Because, yes, playoff Jimmy just a couple of seasons ago, and he always turns it on at this time. I said, hey, this is a new Jimmy, all right? We don't know what he looks like in Golden State in the postseason, and I didn't lay out this prediction. I was going to. We just didn't get around to it on Friday. I'll call myself out for it now. I didn't think we would see Jimmy Butler score 25 points in a game for the rest of this Minnesota Golden State series. It was a loss for the Warriors over the weekend, 102-97, but Jimmy Butler did ball out. He had the ball, an uptick in his shots. He finished 12 of 26 from the field. He got to the charity stripe 9 times. It was 9 times. And he finished with 33 points, 7 assists, and 7 rebounds. He was everywhere. He was everything for this Warriors team. So playoff Jimmy did come alive despite a loss. I didn't think that we were going to see him have a stat line like this throughout the postseason.
Well, one of my best is along those lines. Once Curry went down, I had the feeling that this one was going to be over quickly. Immediately ran to Hard Rock Bet, placed a wager on the T-Wolves to win the series -1.5. So that's in either you just basically can't get to that 7th game. I don't think that they're going to get there. And the Warriors, without Curry, are not going to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. They even had a chance in that last game. They had a lead late in the 4th quarter, and Minnesota just came barreling back and won the game by exactly 5, which was also the point spread, but it's okay. But I don't think Golden State wins another one in this series. I feel pretty confident in that. One of my other bests, I want to give a shout out to one of our most regular contributors in terms of our zone heads, and that is Denny, who, after I shared the news, reposted the report from NFL.com reporters that Derek Carr was retiring from the NFL. I posted that, and Denny said, "What's the win total over under?" And I thought, what a great idea. I know it's early, but you got to strike while the iron is hot. So thank you, Denny, because I placed a nice hefty wager on the New Orleans Saints under 6.5 wins. Now, we already knew that the Saints weren't going to have Derek Carr, but the report that really put me over the top was that Adam Schefter said that the head coach of the Saints, Kellen Moore, so they have a new head coach now, which doesn't help in terms of getting over on that win total. They are going to rotate their quarterbacks and give them all opportunities to seize the starting job. And that would be Jake Haener, Tyler Shuck, and Spencer Rattler. You are trying to lose football games. Oh, and what is that? Is that Arch Manning coming out for the organization that had Archie Manning decades ago? It makes too much sense. You're trotting those quarterbacks out there and trying to sell me on quarterback competition. The Saints, I know that this is a recap of the weekend. I am telling you, as if it has already happened, the Saints will not be winning more than 4 games if they're lucky this NFL season. I'm assuming that they will adjust this line. That was a gift from the gods. Thank you, Denny, for pointing it out.
Tyler Shuck, let's suck, baby. I mean, all season long, under the 6.5 wins.
I don't even think they want it. Like, they would be pissed off if they went over. They'd be more pissed than I would be.
Here's where I think there's some variance to it. And the Saints finished 5-12 a season ago, and that was after a red hot start where the Saints were looking like the best team in football after the first 2 weeks of the season, and then you close out the season just 3 wins from week 2 on. I'm still not confident in the NFC South division, even with the Bucs getting to the 10 games. Atlanta, we think, is going to be improved from the 8-9 record a season ago. So the division is weird as a whole, but one thing that we know is that the Saints always find a way to beat the Bucs. You always find a way to beat the Falcons. You always find a way to beat Carolina. Those teams just always find a way to get one on each other in that division. It's a history. It's a tale as old as time. So that if that holds true, that gets you to 3 wins. If you just get 1 against your division, which isn't a guarantee, can you find a couple more throughout the schedule? I don't think that the Saints do. I think that you're on the right side here. But coming out of that division, you never know what kind of dark magic is going to happen.
Well, I will keep my eye on that schedule release when we get it in a couple of days. One of my other ones, I don't think I've ever done this before. This was one of my best from the weekend. Publix trip for the wife with the kid on Sunday. This is a pro move right here. And I'm stepping up from the minor leagues to the professional leagues with a move like this. Mother's Day, Sunday morning, you take after going and getting breakfast, you got to go to a spot where it's quick. I would go to a donut shop or something and then come back, get the breakfast. She gets settled into the couch. You relax. Then you take the wild 5-year-old, put him in the back seat. You leave the house. And usually we go as a family on Sunday, we go food shopping. I went with my own list. You know where that list was, Tyler? In my brain.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. And we strolled around Publix, father and son, and came back and let Mallory kick back, relax, and enjoy her Sunday morning. And it set the day right. So that, I don't think I've ever done that before, but that will be an annual move now. And you know what I noticed is I'm walking around, other dads with their kids.
Yeah.
So this is why I say this is not me inventing this idea. This is me realizing too late into the game now that this is something that dads do. So I would like to welcome myself to the professional leagues.
Mama's got the morning off on Mother's Day. I'll hit you with one more best and worst. I'll stick with the best and I'll stick with the Publix theme. Homemade pizza. And no, don't try to do it too homemade. I've tried to do it where I'm going to do the protein crust or the chicken crust and you have the TikTok recipe. No. It's a Sunday. It's a cheat day. We know how it is. Go and get that pre-made dough from wherever you might get it. Get your toppings and make your own pizza at home on Sunday. It's cheaper than ordering in a pizza. And Amanda and I went special with it. We went to the farmer's market yesterday. We got a certain type of spread from the farmer's market that we had on the base of the pizza instead of a tomato sauce.
You go with like a pesto?
It was a pesto, a garlic pesto, like hummus type thing. I don't know what it is exactly. It's like a dip. Yeah. And it was an alternative for the red sauce, and it was delicious. I put some barbecue on there as well, some chicken, homemade pizza for the win. one more terrible take on my end, and it's not even something I had wrong. It's something that I was hoping wouldn't happen, and it's the Indiana Pacers being in position. I've been on this stance for 3 weeks now that the Magic and the Pacers met with 3 games remaining in the regular season, and the Pacers booted and said, no, we don't care about this game. The Pacers had the opportunity to catch the Knicks for the 3 seed, and they said, we're good. We're good with the 4. We would rather see Milwaukee than Detroit, and we'd rather see Cleveland than Boston in round 2. And so they said they settled. And I thought it was soft. You thought it was strategic.
I'm glad that you brought this up.
The Pacers are now up 3-1, and it is proving that it was a strategic move, and everything is happening for the Pacers exactly how they wanted. I never denied that it was strategic. I did say it was soft, and I was hoping the worst for them. They're about to move on to the Eastern Conference Finals.
They are also the beneficiaries of some incredible injury luck because Damian Lillard went down, and then now they've got the Cavs who are healthy all year on the ropes with their injury situation. Glad that you brought that up and put some egg on your face. I'm going to wrap the segment doing exactly that, rattle through some of my worst. I think if I go back several weekends, this would be many years ago, I think I liked the Aaron Gordon trade when it went down, if I remember correctly. That was awful, by the way, when you look back. And I know AG won it out, but they got I think because I thought RJ Hampton was an interesting prospect.
I loved him coming out. Oh, man.
Gary Harris and a protected 2025 first-round pick. We'll see who that turns into. Okay, because that player's not on the team yet. Also, Orlando City, I said they would score 0. They got 3. I should have just bet the draw. Whatever. And my last one is that I thought I was going to miss my old couch. That ain't happening because this new one is an instant legend in the Kravitz household. More in the zone coming your way next.
Want to sound off?